give few more minutes and then we will start in around 3 to 4 minutes time. We'll just wait for few other people to join in. So till that, if anyone of you want to show me your practice, the first 4 mantras, any one mantra if you want to try, you can go ahead.
Hi, Ketki. Can I try the Shanno Mitra mantra?
Yes.
Okay. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunah Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि धृतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Very good, Preeti.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah.
Shall I go ahead with the next one then, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. This I think is a bit tricky. I'll try.
Yeah, no problem.
ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Very, very, very nice, Preeti. I will clap for you.
Thank you so much. I think your recordings which you sent earlier for the practice after the last session, that really helps a lot.
Okay, okay. Nice to know that. And you're chanting really, really good. So just keep doing it. How do you feel after chanting? So what's your experience of chanting?
It's just feels rejuvenated.
Very good.
Yeah.
So did you feel that, calmness, silence within?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't feel, in spite of the long and twisted words, you don't get worked up or tired or anything. I know these are not very long mantras, but in spite of that, it's quite peaceful and rejuvenating, I think.
Very good, Preeti. I am proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay. So any one of you want to try, or shall we start with our session? Just one more minute. If anyone is interested, I'm asking anyone. if you want to show me your practice. Otherwise, we will start with our session. Who is there? Anyone? All right then. Okay, so welcome all of you in our fourth session of the art of Vedic chanting, and let's see what's today's agenda. So we will be looking at the meaning of word Shanti and what are the three tap. Then kleshas according to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. What are niyamas according to Ashtanga Yoga? And then we will be learning our mantra 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So, what is Shanti? The word Shanti is derived from the root word Shama, means peace, tranquility, bliss, happiness, comfort. It can also be defined as indifference to objects of pleasure or pain. It is a state of being physically, mentally, and spiritually at peace with enough knowledge and understanding to keep oneself strong in the face of discord or stress. So, the state of Shanti or peace or bliss is nothing but our true nature. Then, what happens that why can't we maintain this true nature of Shanti or bliss all the time? Because of these three tapas. So, what are these three tapas? Afflictions or sufferings of the material world are called as three tapa. Three means three, and tapa means afflictions. Thus, as the name suggests, these afflictions can be divided into three categories. The first one is daihika tap, which is also called as adhyatmika tap. The word atmika means self-inflicted. Adhyatmika suffering is the most damaging and long lasting suffering as we inflict it on ourselves. So these are created by our own self. Now, this could be physical, mental, or emotional suffering. Physical sufferings like cough, fever, diabetes, cancer, etc., caused by imbalance in the pranic flow and in three doshas. Mental or emotional suffering like anger, passion, greed, ego, misapprehension, etc. So these are the mental sufferings. Now, mainly these physical and mental sufferings we go through maybe because we are not following a healthy lifestyle, or we just can't handle or manage our own feelings and emotions, and that's why they are self-created. The second one is Daivikata, and these sufferings caused by nature or divine causes like floods, tornadoes, tsunamis, earthquakes, fires like bushfire we have seen in Australia last year, and the currently which is going on, the pandemic all over the world, where we do not have any control over it. And this is called as Adi Daivikata. And the third one is Adhi Bhautikata. The word Bhautika is derived from Bhuta, which means all beings. These beings are classified as other human beings, domestic animals, wild animals, reptiles, insects. For example, suffering can be caused by someone physically hitting you or hurting you through verbal abuse. So this is called as Adhi Bhautikata. Now, as we can see, there are three types of sufferings, and hence the Shanti is also threefold, and hence we end each mantra by chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is also threefold. So the first Shanti is for our own self, that is Adhyatmika. The second Shanti is for the world at large, that is for Daivika sufferings. And the last Shanti is for other beings. So other human beings, other animals, which comes under the Bhuta category, like all other beings. And hence, the Shanti we chant for 3 times to overcome these 3 types of sufferings. Now we are going to see in detail about the Adhyatmika or Daihika tap, why we go through different physical and mental suffering. And here is the beautiful explanation given by Patanjali from his Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And he says, because of these 5 kleshas, we suffer from Adhyatmikata. Kleshas are considered the root cause of all our pain and suffering in this human experience. According to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, one of the oldest texts written about yoga, there are 5 main afflictions or kleshas. And what are they? The first is avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. Now we are going to understand them one by one. The first one is avidya, and avidya means ignorance. Now, ignorance of what? Our true nature. What is our true nature? The state of complete peace, bliss, or shanti. You can say shanti is our true nature. Naturally, we are happy, we are blissful. And then all these suffering deviate ourselves from the state of peace or our true nature. So because avidya, ignorance, we are completely ignorant. As we grow old, we, go away from our true nature. We forget our true nature. We become ignorant about our true nature. And then we identify ourselves as by any, race or religion or qualification or the job we do or any relation or the gender. So when we limit our perception to these different identities, it is called as avidya or ignorance. And you can see in this picture, avidya is the root cause. Okay, so the root of the tree or the trunk of the tree, and that branches or sub branches into other 4 kleshas. So what is the second klesha is asmita. Now, because of ignorance, because of avidya, as we again grow old, we develop the sense of ego or ahankar, and throughout our lives, we wear this mask of I amness. So this separates us. Once we feel that I am rich, I am poor, or I am tall, I am short, I am dark, I am fair. So all these things make ourselves very individualistic, and it separates us from other beings. And then we forget that we all have come from the same point, that pure consciousness, that supreme consciousness. But then one becomes many, and then we start, living wearing this mask of I amness. So we all come from one point, but this ego or ahankar separates us. So the next one is raga. Raga means attachment with things we like most. Now, if we experience something pleasing or we get pleasing experience because of certain object, for example, if I some type of food and I get, that pleasurable experience after eating that food, I become attached to that food. And that happens to anything, any object, any person, any situation, any place. And slowly our happiness start depending upon the object of happiness. Once that object of happiness goes away, we become unhappy. So it's very, very, a dangerous process where we start developing our strong likes. And if that object of happiness goes away, we lose our true nature. And the exact opposite of raga is dvesha. Dvesha means aversion for things we dislike. So the same thing happens if I don't like something, or if I get unpleasurable experience through any object or situation or from a person, I start avoiding that situation or that person, and slowly I start developing strong dislikes towards these things. So both are responsible to make us suffer. And the last thing is abhinivesha, means fear of losing life or fear of death. We have got fears of so many things, like whatever we have achieved so far. So, fear of losing that. If I say something or if I add something, what others will think about me. So, fear of what others think about me, or fear of not getting what we are looking for. So, this fear is responsible for causing stress, anxiety, depression, doubts in ourselves, and then we come far, far away from our true nature. So Patanjali has given us these five kleshas throughout our life. We keep on going through these five kleshas, and then we get trapped into the cycle of pleasure and pain. So now he also gives us the remedy how to remove these kleshas, and that is through niyamas, through Ashtanga Yoga. Patanjali gives us eightfold path or eight limbed yoga, and that is called as Ashtanga Yoga. What are the eight limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? Yama, Niyama, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So Niyama is the second limb of Ashtanga Yoga. And under Niyama, there are again five categories: Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyay, Ishvara Pranidhan. In order to overcome these five kleshas, Patanjali says, if throughout our life, if we stick to these three niyamas, which are they? The first is tapas. Tapas means austerities or self efforts to become aware of avidya. So, the first step we need to become aware of this ignorance, that we are not aware of our true nature. So, become aware of that. So, that is the root cause of negative thought patterns and getting caught in the cycle of pleasure and pain. So we need to be constantly putting efforts, taking efforts not to, deviate from our true nature. Once we start feeling that, oh, my happiness is depending on this, I should not be doing this. So become aware of your ignorance and avidya. The second step is swadhyaya, means self study. Now, here it does not mean study it yourself, but the study of your own self, your true nature. So, you need to be constantly studying about your true nature. What is my true nature? What it is all about? The aim of Swadhyaya is to bring the experience of that true nature. Now, how we can experience that true nature? One of the means that we are doing is Vedic chanting. Every time you chant Vedic mantra, but how you are going to chant it? By contemplative recitation and repetition of purifying mantras. So try to understand what are these mantras, how they should be chanted, what is their meaning, and try to feel every vibration it creates while chanting, and that will lead you to the state of your true nature. And these purifying mantras are usually taken from, as we have seen, from Vedas and Upanishads. The second thing what we can do is studying and reading scriptures. So whatever scripture which is close to you, you read those scriptures. Sorry. Okay. maybe Ramayana, Mahabharat, Bhagavad Gita, any Upanishads, Puranas, whatever the scripture is, start reading it, because every time you read these scriptures, it will make you aware of your true nature. And whatever we are reading in theory, how it can be applied in practice, by practice Ashtanga Yoga. So whenever you choose any limb of Ashtanga Yoga, it can be tapaha, or it can be asana, or it can be pranayam, it can be meditation. You choose, you practice, and stick to your practice throughout your life, because these things is not just for 3 months or 6 months and then you will, understand or experience true nature. It's a lifelong journey. It's again not limited to one birth, but it just goes birth after birth. So keep practicing yoga. So he is saying that do swadhyaya and try to experience your true nature by chanting mantras, by reading scriptures, and by practicing yoga. And the third thing he says is Ishwara Pranidhan, means surrender to God, or Patanjali refers to it as Purusha Vishesha, means your true nature. Patanjali says that the japa of Om should be performed with full involvement of the being and with full recognition of its significance. So, as in our previous sessions, we have seen what is the symbol of Om, what is the Bija Mantra Om, and its significance. So, always keep that in your mind, and every time you chant Om, you can nearly, touch your true nature. Such a jap will result in the elimination of all kleshas in your way, leading you to your true nature. When the layer of ignorance, avidya, is removed from the surface, all suffering automatically disappears, and then you realize these sufferings are nothing but just the illusion. As we have seen in the symbol of O, that semicircle is the Maya. So we are really trapped into that Maya. Once that Maya fades away, the true nature becomes very clear. So, what are the remedies for overcoming these kleshas are tapa, swadhyay, and Ishwara Pranidhan. Okay, so these are the very important things that we should be aware of, and that's what we have seen, that why we chant shanti 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 for 3 times to overcome 3 types of sufferings. But two types of sufferings are not under our control, which are Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika, but Adhyatmika Tap, they are self created by your own self, and hence we can work upon it by practicing these three niyamas. Okay. And now we will see the fifth mantra, which is taken from Taittiriya Upanishad, and it goes like this. So I'm going to chant it twice for you now. Om aham vrukshasya reriva kirtif prustham gireriva urdhva pavitro vajiniva swamrutamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrutokshitah iti त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So here, where the word comes Dravida, Dravina, after that the pronunciation goes like Dravina Gum. Okay. So again, I will repeat this mantra. Om aham vrukshasya reriva kirtif prustham gireriva urdhva pavitra यत्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगुं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now the next one is mantra 6 taken from Mundaka, Mandukya and Prashnopanishad. And I think every one of us is aware of this mantra. And this goes like this. Om Bhadram Karnebhiः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः. ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So as we have seen, Vyashema Deva, where it followed by ya, the ta becomes tai. Vyashema Deva hitayadayuhu. All right. So these are the two things you just try to remember. So again, I will chant it for you. Om Bhadram Karnebhiः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः. ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. All right. And our mantra 7 is taken from Keno and Chandogya Upanishad. Now where there are no swara marks. So entire mantra goes in flat swara or udatta swara. So it goes like this. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranashchakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarot anirakaranam asva nirakaranam me astu तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. So again I will repeat. So there are no swarita or dirgha swarita or anudatta swaras here. Just chant it flat. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranashchakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarot anirakaranam asva nirakaranam me astu तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Okay, so these three mantras goes like this. Maybe we can start with the familiar mantra that is Om Bhadram Karnebhiः. So if you want, any one of you want to try this mantra, you can go ahead. And if you have any doubts, whatever we have discussed so far, so if you have any doubts about chanting, you can ask me, or you can, practice chanting this mantra. Anyone of you want to try? Shall I show you once again about Om Bhadram Karnebhi?
Yes, please.
Okay. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyam Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvansastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Om Swasti Na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti Na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti Nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti No Bruhaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Ketaki, in the second line, I have a doubt. Where the Stirai Rangai Stushtua, isn't it gum after that, based on what you explained?
Yeah, so here it goes Sthirai Rangai Sushtuvans Tanubhihi. Okay, so here it's not gum because maybe again here here Dravina gum. Gum, and here it doesn't sound like gum, but it goes Sthirai Rangai Sushtuvansastanubhihi. So here that sound doesn't occur.
Oh, so typically what you do in English, it becomes silent.
Yes. So here it's silent, but here, so the way I have learned, I'm just telling you. So here it goes like Dravinagum Savarchasam.
Yeah, I was expecting that the gum will be there, but
yeah.
So
can I say something?
Yes.
Is it maybe because of because there is the sir which comes after Stirai Rangai Sushtu answers.
See,
that is a higher note that you're taking. So you can't really take a higher note after gum, maybe, I think.
It can be. See, even I am not aware of these details, but the way I have learned, I'm telling you, maybe it's Swarita mark, or it's not going like gum here, but in the previous mantra it goes like that. Maybe I can, ask Dr. Vinay Chandra what's the difference between these two mantras, and I will let you know in the next session. Okay.
So there are two rules there. One is the gum becomes silent when it is followed by sir.
See, that's I'm not sure when it's followed by sir, because here also it's followed by sir. Dravina gum savarchasam.
Which one is that?
Yeah, the fifth mantra.
Okay.
Yeah. There also it's followed by sir. Only the thing is here it's Swarita, but I don't know why it's not gum here and gum there. But that's how I have learned chanting these mantras. So maybe I can ask this question to Dr. Vinay Chandra.
Yeah. And then also whilst you were reciting this one, you mentioned something, the following one, where Vyashema Dehivitai Yadadu.
So here the ta becomes tai.
Tai, okay.
Yeah. Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it possible to display the slide of the mantra that you're saying on the screen while you're doing it?
So now we are doing Om Bhadram Karnebhi. Can you see that slide? Or do you want to see the previous mantra? Which one you're talking? Which mantra you want to see?
The one that we are saying, if you can display that on the screen.
That is on the display. You can't see
Is
that?
it?
Yeah.
No.
It is the seventh mantra, but it can be the
Yeah.
individual.
It's
The
If you go
individual
to
who's-
Shanti Mantra 6,
It's Shanti Mantra 6 on slide 8.
Page
Yeah.
8.
Oh, can we move those slides on our own?
yeah,
We
you can
can't do
move it
it,
on
right?
your own.
I think so.
yeah,
You
you can take control and move it on your own, or you can see what Ketki is
Oh,
showing.
okay. But okay,
do
so you have
both
to
ways.
press take control for that, is it?
Correct.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so in Om Bhadram Karne Bhi, you just need to remember that this ta becomes tai, nothing else. And when you chant this pusha, that pu really goes down. So like as we have learnt about balam, so now stress few letters here. Swastena pusha. So pu is dirgha. You know, Rasu and Dirgha we have seen. So pu, you need to give that balam, that stress while chanting pusha. So now you are taking care of intonations, matras like Rasu and Dirgha, pronunciation of correct syllables. So also give emphasis on stressing on these syllables so you can, you know, feel the vibrations even better when you give stress on these syllables. You try giving or using one of the rule of our chanting balam. Read again about that rule and you know, try to apply that rule while chanting. So it really makes difference in your chanting. All the syllables gives you more vibrations. You can experience that when you're practicing. So any mantra, if you want to try, you know, if you want to try this, you know, we'll take few words. We don't have to go and chant the entire mantra because it's flat. Maybe you want to try this. Just select any one of it. Or even if you want to try our previous 4 mantras, you can go ahead.
Shall I try, Ketki?
Yes?
Rajesh here.
Yes. Which one you are trying?
Badram Karni.
Badram Karne bhi. Okay.
Oh,
Oops.
I lost.
Yeah. Wait.
Nice to see you, Ketki.
Huh? I think the slides have gone somewhere. Just wait.
फोन पे वही होगा ना I've got it on the phone. Shall I start anyway? Ketki.
No, because the rest of us won't be able to follow you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, now you can start.
Okay. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितै यदायुः ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृधश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Very good, Rajesh. So your most of the intonations are right. Again, vruddha shravaha. So the pronunciation is vruddha dha. And again, try to emphasize more on pusha. Okay. So pu as it goes dirgha, give stress on the syllable pu.
Ketki,
Yes.
Mugdha here. I have one doubt.
Huh?
Stirai rangai is tushtuva. You are saying yes, stirai rangai is satushtuva. It should be satushtuva. Yes, tushtuva.
No. Sthirairangai sushtuvan sorry. Sthirairangai sushtuvan sastanubhihi. So stu. We are chanting is stu. Stushtu van stanubhihi. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So anyone else want to try? Any other mantra or this mantra?
Ketki, can I try?
Yes.
Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyam Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Istushtumangsstanurbihi Vyashema Devahitai Yadayuhu Om Swastina Indro Vruddhashravaha स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः.
Very good. So intonations are almost right. Just try to correct certain pronunciations here and there. Oh, I don't know why these slides are going. Sorry about this. I don't know.
I think are people taking control of the slides? If people can just refrain from taking control of the slides and just go to what Ketki is displaying.
Because yeah, from my thing, the slides are just disappearing.
Yeah, Mog is right. Instead of taking control, the users, they can just click the left and right button on the slides and then get an individual display only for themselves.
Yes. So you need to just click on the button up and down to change the slides.
The left and right.
Left and right. Okay.
Yeah. That's what others should do, not for you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so anyone want to try any other mantra? Maybe the flat swara? So where there is a full stop, you take a break there because there are like long lines. You need time to breathe in. So take breaks like Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani. Take a little pause here. सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्व निराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. So this mantra is really good because it will lengthen your exhalation. Usually, as we give time for our exhalation, when you try to chant these long sentences, it acts like a pranayam. So the lengthening of your exhalation occurs. So your system gets a lot of time to take out carbon dioxide and other toxins. So it's very, very helpful mantra.
Ketki, I've got one more doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're pronouncing, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line, the long one, Nirakarod. When you're saying the following word, which is Nira, you pronounce it as Anirakarana.
Okay. See?
How do we differentiate that? Where we can actually fill in, use the filler of a.
Right. Now I will show you again.
Yeah.
Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot. So here it becomes the and then Anirakaranam. Okay. So here we are trying to split the into the and a. So Nirakarot Anirakaranam Nirakaranam me astu.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll listen to it a couple of times and then try to familiarize myself.
Yeah. So it goes like Nirakarot Anirakaranam Nirakaranam me astu.
So it is not the, it is the.
Yeah. Nirakarot, because we are splitting into two, that the becomes the and Anirakarana. Okay. Yeah.
Is the Sanskrit Sandhi fold, or what you call? So you break the big word into small chunks, which you can manageably converse. So instead of having the whole word in one breath, which is not possible, you have broken it. And the broken, if you look at the whole word as such, that is a the, but that the, if you constantly repeat the and together, then you will start hearing the sound the. And that's the break where you have the, which is a half the, and then Nirakaran.
Have you ever seen that we write the and we put little line under the the?
Yeah. Like broken leg.
Yes, broken leg. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So that goes Nirakarot Anirakaramasva Nirakaranam me astu. Anyone want to try this mantra? So today we have got plenty of time for practice actually. So you should be practice. Show me your practice. No one?
Ketki, can you tell us the Om Shanti Shanti here?
Yeah.
That is no swara marks.
It goes flat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
But then where is the tihi? For the tihi, there is no upper mark. So shouldn't it be Om Shanti Shanti Shanti?
Om Shanti. I am just pronouncing the visarga after that. I am not going swarita. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's not Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay. Yeah.
So the visarga should come, and because it's followed by sh sound, the visarga sound becomes sh. Om Shanti Shanti. Actually, it becomes sa is. Shantis, Shantis, Shantihi.
Okay.
And the last visarga becomes ha.
Okay.
So again, as in the last session, Dr. Vinay Chandra explained us the importance of visarga, which is followed by different syllables, the sound of visarga changes. So we need to keep in mind that thing when we are Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Okay.
Hello, Ketki.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to ask about Om Shanti Shanti. I remember in first session and second session we talked about the difference of between voice variations. So what is the difference impact wise? Like what happens due to varying low voices?
That gives different vibrational energy. Na? You emit different frequency of energies.
Okay, so though the meaning is same, effect will be different, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to, pronounce them clearly according to Raswa and Dirgha. Give time to pronounce that particular word. So it's going a, pya, ya. So ya, tu, ma, ma, ga, ni. So
yeah.
when you're practicing on your own, also practice with the snap of a finger or a clap and try to learn how much time you're giving to each syllable.
Okay.
So that is also a kind of pranayam where you give more time to pronounce dirgha syllables. Then balam, you need to give stresses on certain syllables. So that gives you more impact, more vibrations, and all the marma points what we have discussed, they get stimulated. So it's important to apply all the rules of chanting while you're practicing. And just feel the experience, because it is all about, even if it goes wrong, no matter, but the end result, you should feel that calmness within you. And as we have discussed, our true nature, which is shanti, which is peace, and you should really experience, maybe when you start chanting 3 or 4 mantras together, it gives you that impact on your body, on your mind. Even your breathing slows down because you have taken a lot of oxygen while chanting. You have taken out a lot of carbon dioxide. So when we practice actually Kapalbhati, what we do, we emphasize more on exhalations, rapid, forceful exhalations. And when you are chanting mantra like this, Om Apyayantu Mamangani, you are emphasizing more on exhalations. So what happens, your lungs get filled up with plenty of oxygen. The end result is your lungs are filled up with oxygen, and automatically it slows down your breathing. And your breathing and your mind is very, very interlinked. So once your breathing slows down, your mental activity slows down. So maybe at the start of the mantra chanting, you can just, feel that how many thoughts or, what's going on in your mind. And just see at the end of your practice, is there any difference? Maybe there were 5-6 thoughts at the beginning, and maybe at the end of the practice there is either one thought that maybe I'm feeling now nice or happy or something like this, or you just become silent within. So it's very important to work on your breath in order to control your mind. And mantra chanting is the best practice to slow down your breathing. And how it will get slowed down? By lengthening your exhalations. So again, in the next session, we will be learning one more mantra which goes flat like this. So these 2 mantras will help to lengthen your exhalations. So any one of you want to try this mantra?
Sorry, Ketki, I just have a quick question. Why are all these called Shanti mantras? Like, so basically, are these like Shanti mantras which are picked up from different Upanishads, which you have like collected together, or like how have you picked these?
See, I have not picked them up. When I was doing my master's in yoga from S. Vyasa, Bangalore University, we used to have one of the module like Vedic chanting, and they taught us these Dasha Shanti mantras. So I think
10.
Yeah, these are the Dasha means yes, 10 Shanti mantras. And basically these are the 10 mantras and they are called as Shanti mantras. And as we have seen, what is the importance of Shanti? Because these mantras have that power. They are potent enough to take you to the state of peace or your true nature. And that is nothing but Shanti. So these are the Shanti mantras from Upanishad.
Sure.
Hello, Ketki. Saurabhi here.
Yeah.
I would like to try this. Having said that, I'm not very good at reading all the scripture very quickly. So I might have to slow myself down a little bit. Is that going to be okay?
Yes.
Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranachakshashuhu.
Yeah. Vak pranashchakshuhu.
Vak pranashchakshuhu. Shrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Correct.
Sarva Brahmopanishadam.
That was like Sarvam.
Okay. Sarvam Brahmopanishadam.
So here, sorry to interrupt, but here there are like 2 matras over. Matras means Brahmau. When we say in Devanagari script, there are matra above the syllable and there are double matra. So the sound is au. So Brahmau.
Okay. So Sarvam Brahmopanishadam. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Mama. Sorry.
Yes.
Is it correct? Mama Brahma.
Here Brahma. Mama Brahma.
Mama Brahma. Is it just Mama or Mam?
No, it's Ma.
Mama Brahma. Now this is a very long one, but I'm going to give it a try. Yeah. Nirakarot Nirakaranam.
See, now, as we have discussed, here we are splitting that the into half the and a. So we will pronounce this as Nirakarot. So the ta is short. So Nirakarot Anirakaranam Maswa Nirakaranam Me Astu.
Okay, I'm going to try that again. Yeah. Nirakarot Anirakaranam Maswa Nirakaranam Me Astu.
Correct.
Okay. Hang on. Tadatmani Nirateya. Upanishastu. No, sorry.
Upanishastu.
Upanishastu. Dharmaste Mayi Stute Mayi Stu.
Dharmaste Mayi Santu Te Mayi Santu.
Oh. Dharmaste Mayi Santu Te Mayi Santu.
Correct.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Correct.
Okay.
Ketki, shall I give it a try?
Yes.
Om apyayanti mamangani vakprana chakshushrotramatho balamandriyani cha sarvani sarva brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakurya maha brahma nirakarot nirakarmadasva nirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaye mayi santu ye mayi santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Very good. So try to take a break. Now I know that you're learning, but again the where I wanted to point you. The dharmaste. It's not ye, it's te. Dharmaste mai santu, te mai santu.
Okay.
Can you repeat one more time?
Om apyayantu mamangani va prana chakshushrot matho.
Wait. Vak prana chakshuhu.
Vak prana chakshuhu shrotra matho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarva brahmopanishadam maham brahm.
So here the sound is au. Brahmaupanishadam.
Sarvam brahmaupanishadam ma brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakaro nirakaranamasva nirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirteya upanishad tadatmani nirteya tadatmani nirteya upanishatsu dharmaste mayi santu te mayi santu om shanti shanti shanti.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I try, please?
Yes. What's your name?
Preeti. I'm Preeti.
Yeah, sure.
Om apyayantu mamangani vakpranashchakshuhu shrotramato balamindriyani.
We can't hear you, Preeti.
Yeah.
Can you start again?
Yeah. Just a minute. I can't see the screen.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Now it's come up. Yeah. I'll restart.
Yeah.
Om apyayantu mamangani vakpranashchakshuhu shrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarod anirakaranamastva nirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaste mai santu te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. So, anyone else want to try?
Ketki, I have a very tiny request. Saurabhi here. What I'm struggling with, because I have never learned Sanskrit in my language as a language. What I'm struggling with, because some of the mantras we know, we might not be reciting them correctly, but we know what they are. So we are able to follow what you're trying to say. But some of these are new to us. So is it possible, you know, how Vinay Chandra ji said last time, that they were first asked to recite them.
Correct.
First.
Yeah.
And that is how they built up on it eventually, as in correcting whatever mistakes they were making. So is there a way that we could follow that same practice, where we are first learning these shlokas whilst, and you know, if we recite it with somebody, then it becomes easier to practice, because I think that somewhere relates to rote learning. So I don't know if we could do something like that. And then eventually, I think these other aspects of correcting your recitation as you go along will happen as we go along, I think. Because at the moment, I'm even struggling to sort of put two letters together and read them.
See,
so Saurabhi,
what Vinay said is just by listening, correct? So what we are doing when we are meeting on Saturday, of course, we are doing practice together. And after that, on the WhatsApp group, I'm putting recording of the mantras what we cover. So try to listen to that recording when you're practicing at your home.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Ketki. I think practicing every day and listening to Ketki's recordings really helps, Saurabhi. I think you should try that.
I think what Dr. Vinay Chandra ji said was it started as a Shruti, which is hearing, then it went into Smriti, which is remembering, and then the scripts actually came, I mean, the writing of the Vedas and the shlokas came literally about 200, 250 years ago. So I think the best way of having the correctness of the Vedas and the recitation is all about as much as you listen. So it's all about Shruti, then Smriti. And once you have got the correct Shruti, you will get those pronunciations by heart. I think, Saurabhi, what you're doing is possibly starting with the reading of this first. So ignore the scriptures, just start listening to these Vedic mantras and Ketki's recordings, and I think you will get it eventually.
Okay, thank you, Amog.
Yeah.
I will try that approach.
Yeah. So many of you, have tried that. I can see really, really good results. Like Preeti is chanting it in a very, very nice way. Again, we have got Hemalata, and I'm sorry if I forget any names, but there are few of, people, they have shared their audio recording. So I suggest you listen to my recordings, also listen to, others' recordings. So it just, fixes in your head when you repeatedly listen to these mantras. So don't worry about much of the grammar into it or how difficult these, you will find them difficult because you're listening to them for the first time. But maybe after 10, 15 times, the same mantra becomes easier for you. It's just your memory and it sticks in your head and you will just pick up the way, it is chanted. So I really congratulate those who are practicing regularly because I'm really happy you have picked up the way the mantra is to be chanted in the correct way you're chanting it. So congratulations. And this will motivate and inspire others to, keep practicing and put your recordings. So, just it helps others as well to listen to it more often. Okay. So here I thank everyone for joining the call. And in the next session, we will be seeing the benefits of Vedic chanting. So what are the physical, mental, and spiritual benefits of Vedic chanting? And we will learn our last 3 mantras in our 5th session. So till that time, keep practicing. And if you have any questions, put them on the group and let the discussion, go on the group as well.
Before you go, Ketki, I just have a question again about the Shanti Mantra 7.
Okay.
And while I understand that it is chanted in a flat tone, it seems very speedy. Is it that we have to try and get through it as quickly as possible, or can it be slower?
Of course, you can start with slow pace, but because these are the long sentences and you are not taking break in between, we somehow pick up the speed. But yes, where there are full stop, you have to take break there to breathe in and again start chanting at a stretch without any break, and that will help to lengthen your exhalation, and that will act like a pranayam.
Thank you.
Yes. So shall we end the session here? I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Go through the 3 tapas and kleshas and the remedies to overcome the kleshas, because that will really help you in your everyday life.
Thank you, Ketki.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ketki. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.